Hello and welcome to another episode of our Women in STEM series. My name is Kaylee Peile and I'm the Director of Development for the Linda Hall Library. Today our guest is one of our very own, our Education Specialist, Jessica Berlinsky. Jessica, welcome and thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, so I would love to chat with you about your background first because we're thrilled to have you be a part of our engagement team and we'll get to all the great things you're doing at the library. But I know you have a background in education and science, so talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. So I studied environmental studies in college and I minored in art. And I was very set on a career in environmental education. I started working in environmental education and I wanted to be developing deeper relationships with the students I was working with. A lot of the work I was doing was like field trips or kind of one-off programs. So I wanted to build stronger relationships and be a more important part of a student's educational journey. So I became a science teacher and I taught 8th grade science for a year, and then I transitioned into informal STEAM education. So kind of teaching outside of the classroom. When I moved to Kansas City, I worked at Science City as a museum educator and the art specialist there. And that brought me here to the library. So, yeah.
Well, I think that's really cool. And I like that you've got a lot of kind of nonlinear movements happening on that trajectory, right?
Absolutely.
I think a lot of the women that we talk to in this series, there's a lot of that happening. You know, you have kind of a main theme, but you are able to kind of hit a few different passion projects along the way, and I think that's really great. So how do you transfer the way that you worked with 8th graders in science to Linda Hall Library? Like, what are some of the things that you're going to be working on when it comes to the education pillar of our organization?
Absolutely. I think that there, along my journey, my career journey in education, I've definitely picked up a lot of different perspectives on education. So I've worked in the classroom as a teacher. I understand where teachers are coming from. I've also worked in, museum spaces, other nonprofits, nature centers. So I have kind of a well-rounded understanding of educational opportunities that are offered in STEM. And I want to bring that to the library and make sure that we can offer that in multiple directions.
Yeah.
So we can engage classroom teachers, we can engage families who come visit us, and we can also offer other opportunities to students to engage with us here.
Absolutely. And I know that one of the big ways that you're doing that is leading our Kansas City Invention Convention program. For those of our audience members who aren't as familiar with the program, I know that we're very much steeped in it, but
Right.
I'd love for you to give an overview of what KCIC is and where we're going and what we're excited about for April 10th.
KCIC is an invention fair for students in grades 5 through 12. And the students work for several months preparing an invention project. So they go through a whole 7-step invention process. They find a problem in the world that they want to solve. A lot of times it's something very personal to them, but sometimes it's something larger like, water pollution or something like that. But they start with a problem. They go through a research process to discover what solutions are already out there, and then they work on developing an invention to solve their problem. So they kind of move through developing a prototype, testing their prototype, and then their final step is communicating the work that they've done. And that's what we do at the Invention Convention. It's a big celebration of the work that students have been doing for months, supported by their educators, and we have community partners. STEM professionals serve as judges, which is really wonderful to see students pitching their invention project to local STEM professionals, and to see that interaction is really, really wonderful. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite days. And I think the momentum and the energy around that, we get so inspired because like young people are thinking about the world in a very different way. And I love seeing that in real time. And not just the inventions that they come up with, but the way they do connect with professionals and other students. I think it's just a great day. It's a feel good experience for sure. But tell me about, so leading up to KCIC competition day, what does that look like for students, and how are you supporting educators and students in the classroom? I know you've had some visits recently.
Absolutely. The wonderful part about the Invention Convention is that the path to the competition day can look different for every student. So we have some students working in a traditional classroom setting, and they've been working through a curriculum provided by the Invention Convention Worldwide organization, and they've been using the curriculum in their classroom, working as a class with their teacher to complete their projects. So once again, going through that whole invention process, developing their prototype and their presentation. Other students, we have homeschool students who participate, so they've been working on their projects with their homeschool educators. We also have students in clubs and after-school programs who are participating. So their path is a little bit different. Their timeline is a little bit different. But everyone's kind of been working on developing their inventions, and now we're getting closer to the competition, so working on their display boards and their pitch presentations.
And I know that since the inception of this program in 2020, there's been a lot of growth and a lot of momentum regionally. How many students are we expecting to have on April 10th? And then what does that journey look like when we have a few winners from each category? What does that look like whenever they go into nationals for the Invention Convention Worldwide?
So this is our 5th year of the Invention Convention, and we've been growing each year. This year, we're really happy to have educators working across our region, from Topeka to Columbia, from St. Joseph to Harrisonville. So we've kind of expanded our reach this year. And based off of our educator registration, educators who are using our curriculum in their classroom, our footprint is about 1,000 students this year.
Wow.
Which is really wonderful.
That's amazing.
And as for students who will actually be joining us at the convention, we have over 400 registered already. And we have a few weeks left.
Yeah, that's a spike. That's amazing.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that and excited to kind of grow our influence and offer this opportunity to more people. So of the 400 students who will be here on competition day, there will be some award winners, and we separate the students out by age band based on grade level. So students, the first place prize from each age band will proceed to Invention Convention Nationals at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan. That'll be this June. So between our competition and nationals competition, we'll work with those students to set up all of their travel arrangements, and also to kind of refine their projects so that they're nice and polished for the national competition.
I love that. And I know that we've had a couple winners in the past, so hopefully we have great winners here locally, and then they can go into nationals and kind of clean house. that's the hope.
Yes,
always.
absolutely. But you know what? The journey, even beyond the winning and the achievement, the journey is really kind of what we want to celebrate too.
Yeah.
Just the opportunity to go compete at a national convention, whether we bring home prizes or not, is such a rewarding experience for the students.
It's a lot of exposure that I would never have had as a young person. I think that's amazing. And I know that we've had a few students come back if they're younger. They take all of that constructive feedback and they kind of tinker on their invention for the next year, and it becomes bigger and better year over year. So I think that's a great experience too. I totally agree. So what are you excited about long term for this program, and what kind of reach do you think that we can achieve across our region?
That's something that we're always talking about and we're always excited about. This is the 5th year of the Invention Convention, and we've seen growth every year since our first year. So talking about how we can better support our region and bring this opportunity to more teachers and more students is a lot of the work that I do. So looking into the coming years, we want to offer the curriculum in a broader reach to just kind of get the word out about our program, because being a fairly new competition, at least in our region, we can be relatively unknown to a lot
Sure.
of educators even. And I think that kind of getting the word out, letting more people know about the opportunities that we can offer for teachers and students is kind of the name of the game at this point. But ideally, we would love to be, known throughout our region as a place where students can develop these creative problem-solving skills, and we want to grow in ways that we can support and sustain teachers through the process as well.
Absolutely. And I know that you're taking a more, outside of Kansas City Invention Convention, you are taking a more holistic approach to supporting educators and students in our region. So I want to touch on that before we end our discussion.
Yeah.
So if you could plug a little bit about the educator professional PD that you do in the summertime, but also I know that you're putting together discovery kits and things for students to come here and kind of explore the Arboretum. So I'd love for you to talk about each of those things.
Sure. So for the Invention Convention, we're offering a teacher professional development that will set you up really well to use this invention education curriculum in your classroom. So if you're really interested in invention and kind of the STEMmy, so STEM plus invention and entrepreneurship mindset, this is a great opportunity. A full day professional development at the end of July, and we're offering lunch and a stipend for teachers who want to attend.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. That'll be really fun. And like I said, it's a great way, if you're interested in Invention Convention next year, to get an idea of what the expectations are and how you can start planning to include it in your curriculum in your classroom. Additionally, for Invention Convention specifically, we offer curriculum created by the Invention Convention Worldwide team, which is used across the country for students competing in Invention Convention. It's tied to standards, and it's also kind of focused on creativity and problem solving through this 7-step invention process.
Right.
So that's a great resource for teachers. We also offer financial support to teachers for supplies and transportation to the competition. And we do classroom visits to teachers who are competing in the Invention Convention. So we can come kick off the invention process in your classroom, or kind of toward the end, closer to the competition day, we can come and help students prepare to compete. So that's really fun work to do. On a broader note, here at Linda Hall Library, we are working on some Arboretum discovery kits, which we'll be launching this spring. We're very excited about. So this is something that anybody can come and check out from the reference desk here at the library. And they look like little backpacks, and we have binoculars, a handheld microscope, some reference material, and a little observation log that you can fill out to kind of facilitate exploration in our urban arboretum space. So I think this will be really fun for people to explore with this spring.
No, I think it's a fabulous idea. It
Yeah.
makes me excited. I want to use them too. And I
Oh,
wanna have little
absolutely.
feedback. Yeah, I think it's going to be really great. Well, I'm excited for all the things that you're doing here, Jessica. I think it's really important. Again, I think creating more access and opportunity for educators and students at the library is really, really pivotal for our strategic plan and the work that we're doing in 2025. So we're glad that you're here. I'm excited for April 10th, and thank you for talking to me today.
Thanks, Kaylee.